What's up? Today I want to do a video about how to be homeless, and this is sort of a spin-off of my homelessness in Las Vegas ebook. I'm selling it on Amazon. It's in the description box below. And during this video I'm going to cover like the mentality of being homeless, how to get jobs while being homeless in certain cities, the trials and tribulations you have to go through dealing with the police and things of this nature. I've been homeless in 2 cities and I'm just going to cover it all, so let's get to it. Alright, I was talking with one of my friends yesterday, and he was saying, how can homeless people get jobs? Is it possible for the homeless people to get jobs and whatever? And it's fairly easy for homeless people to get jobs simply because, you know, the library is the only free public place they can go to. That's why when you go to most public libraries in major cities, you can smell a stench floating in the air. And that stench is normally coming from a homeless person who is there. Now, there are 2 types of homeless people who visit the library. First, you have the homeless people who actually read books and magazines for entertainment, or you have the homeless people who try to sleep. That's why you see security guards walking around, always waking people up. You know, when, you know, at the library, let's say, okay, you fill out the application, get you a library card for free. You can use that library card to check out books related to building a business or getting a job. Moreover, you can get on the internet for at least 2 hours. You get 1 hour session each time you sign in with your library card. So you could search for jobs all day on Craigslist. You could do freelance work, and even get gigs on Craigslist. So it's really your choice. When I was homeless, I noticed a lot of people was out there because they wanted to be out there. I know that sounds kind of harsh and that's contrary to popular belief, but the reality is that a lot of people choose to be out there simply because they don't want to deal with the nonsense at their home, because some of these households are unforgiving. So that person may feel more free just being out in the streets, because ain't nobody really, well, in a city like Chicago, no one is really saying anything to you or messing with you for the most part. If they do, it's normally because they want something out of you. A police officer wanting to arrest you to boost his quotas, a person wanted to rob you just to get a few dollars out of you, or, you know, somebody trying to exploit you for sexual favors. Yes, that happens. So I was explaining it to old cuz, but I say old cuz, I'm sorry, but now homelessness in Chicago takes on a unique perspective, because a lot of people during the winter time, they would actually get on the trains and ride the trains back and forth. So if you get on a train or a bus where the driver is real cool and don't tell you to get off, like, hey, it's the end of the line, get off, then you can actually get like 3 hours of uninterrupted sleep, or 4 hours just riding back and forth for the whole morning, from, let's say, from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. So a lot of homeless people do that. That's why when you get on the red line in Chicago around 3 o'clock in the morning, it looks like a hotel. You see people slouching over, sleeping, or you'll see homeless guys with their buggies right there, you know, their pizza boxes, and just everything related to their life. So, you know, it essentially becomes a hotel. Also, and the sound of the bus and the motor running is actually kind of soothing and relaxing as well, so it puts you right to sleep. Just make sure to have your bag on the side between the window and your body so no one steals it, you know. But yeah, man, and now in a city like Las Vegas, which I cover in the book, it's a city that discourages homelessness for the most part, because a lot of people go there trying to win millions of dollars and they end up losing everything, and as a result they become homeless. So, you know, the city government don't want people setting up tent cities and sleeping on the streets and things of this nature, because it makes the city look bummy and the casinos start complaining about it and the tourists see this stuff, and that demotivates them from coming to Las Vegas and things of this nature. Also, in Las Vegas, it's illegal to sleep on the bus. So if the bus driver catch you sleeping, they could either kick you off the bus, or you can even get arrested in some cases, man. So you can't really get uninterrupted sleep maybe around 3 p.m. when it's rush hour and the bus had just pulled into the depot and is late. then you could probably get some Z's, because it's going to take a hour or two just to get on the other side. And if it's around 5 p.m., by the time it gets to the other side, then it's going to come back around, and it might take 2 hours, picking up people coming from work, to about 7 p.m. So you get uninterrupted sleep around that time, if you're in Las Vegas. In Chicago, it's best to do it in the morning. Yeah, man. But the idea of being homeless is kind of harsh, especially on your body, because you have to have your health right. When I was homeless, I used to eat raw vegetables and fresh fruits, okay? I used to eat raw cabbage, crunch on it all the time, organic apples, organic oranges. And since I'm outside all day, I can go to this neighborhood and take 10 minutes to go into Whole Foods and get what I want. People looking at me crazy and whatever, but I can just go in there real quickly, especially in the morning, around like 6 in the morning when they first open up. Bam, get what I need, pay the $10, $5 or whatever, and I'm out. Yeah, so, and you want to do this so you do not contract diseases easily, because when you're on these public transportation, you're sitting on different seats, you're touching different bars, and there's a constant bombardment of germs entering your body. So when you're healthy, you can fight off those germs. You're not catching colds as easily, and you have a clear mind to think and navigate your way through the streets, and that's very important. You have to be spiritually in tune with nature and the energies around you, and one way of doing that is by eating healthy, because when you eating foods that's grown from the earth, it becomes part of you, and you eject the energy that's from the earth. So therefore you can pick up all other energies on the earth. I know it sounds crazy, but once you start eating and become spiritually enlightened, you will see exactly what I mean. That's essential. And I also wanted to cover females. It's hard for females being homeless than males. That's 100% for sure. Because with women, if you have absolutely nothing, there's always an out. And that out is usually intimate favors with people, especially if you are a sexy homeless female. And there's a lot of them out there. You always got guys constantly riding past, honking their horn, and you got these dudes offering a place to stay, and of course you have to trade it in with favors and maid services, cooking, cleaning, and things of this nature, and getting talked at any kind of way, or just risking your life or freedom because this dude might be hustling or something like that. That stuff goes down, man. So it's very hard being a female, and plus you have female, how can I say it, you basically have to, you might get on your period and things like this, so that takes on a whole set of problems right there. So yeah, it's very very challenging being a female and homeless. Homeless stories. No. Let me continue talking about health. Another aspect of homelessness is washing. Okay. Of course, you can go to the laundromat, you can wash your clothes and whatever, man. But it's very important that you dry your clothes. When I was homeless in Vegas, I was trying to save money. So what I would do is wash my clothes, and I figure since sun is shining, it's a dry, hot desert, that my clothes are going to dry on their own. And a lot of times it does. Even though my shirt is damp or my pants is damp, it will dry. The problem is your shoes and your socks. Alright? When you're wearing damp socks all day and it's in a dark enclosed area like your shoes, you're going to have fungus develop on your feet. And after a couple of weeks, that fungus is going to spread, and not spread all over your body, but spread all over your foot. And you're going to start limping, and it's going to be hurting, and it's going to hurt more. It's going to hurt more. It's going to hurt more. So make sure you take care of your feet, because when you're out in the streets, you're going to be walking all the time, 24/7. But with homelessness, let's say you out in the streets, you learn how the society works, and believe it or not, you become content with being homeless because you know what to expect. You know the times to go outside. You know where to go. You basically get stuck in a routine. Now you can use this time to actually read, to print out stuff when you're at the library, and mark what type of work you want to do. And see, now you have tablets and you have government phones that you can get for free, and you have cheap tablets you can buy for like $30 or something, so you can always have a computing device or a mobile device to take care of business. Remember, you can find free Wi-Fi almost anywhere, and Wi-Fi will connect you to the world. McDonald's, coffee shops. Sometimes sometimes Starbucks will actually allow you to sit there and use their Wi-Fi for free. All you have to do is just ask the person who's working at the counter, hey, can I sit over here and use my Wi-Fi? Normally they'll be like, yes. Or you can go in there and order like $1, $2 latte or something. I don't know how much it costs, but just order one item. You can kind of sit there for 2, 3, 4 hours or whatever, as long as they don't have a lot of traffic coming in. And with McDonald's, certain McDonald's only allow you 30 minutes to sit there, but if the security guards in there are cool and the manager is cool, you can kind of just post up in McDonald's or Wendy's. All you need to do is buy a $1 drink, and you can use their free Wi-Fi and take care of your business. So it's very important. But when you're on public transportation, don't be bringing out your laptop and your mobile device, showing it off to people, because you will become a target. And when you're riding certain buses and trains all the time, your face becomes known to other homeless people and to leeches. So they might need some money one day to buy some narcotics, and next thing you know, they know that you got a laptop, they know that you got a cell phone or a tablet, and they jacking you up. They setting you up like pieces on a chessboard, and bam, they're hitting you, and now you're having a bad day and stuck in the same spot you just came from. So it's crazy. Another thing about narcotics, my friend who I was speaking with told me that he gives to homeless people. He always gives to homeless people. He asked me, do I do it? And yes, I give to homeless people, because at one point I was homeless, so I automatically respect it. So if a dude walk up to me and be like, hey man, do you have any food? Do you have any this? And you have any that? Most likely I'm going to give it to him. However, I told my friend not to give money to homeless people, because usually the dirty homeless people, and I talk about this in my book, the dirty homeless people are not really, well, they're homeless, but they're most likely drug addicts. Okay, I say this because there are plenty of programs that will help you get on your feet. You got food stamps, you got churches, you got all these different social programs that will actually help you overcome your homelessness. They will help you if you're looking for that. A lot of the drug addicts, sometimes they take advantage of those programs, but any money that they get, they're spending it on narcotics. That's why they always begging and never really seem to come up. Real true to the game, homeless people normally wear like outdated clothing. You may see them wear old Pelle Pelle and Ralph Lauren t-shirts from the early 2000s and things of this nature, or they look real clean, but they look like, they have on old clothes, kind of like this, I apologize, so they have on, of course I have a home now, but so I discourage you giving to the dirty, there's this guy, he want to get on the train and tell his life story about how he was locked up and he can't get on his feet, yet every time you get on that train, this guy gets on that train and basically spew the same stuff to people who feel sorry for him, giving him $1, $2, $3. He's spending that on either narcotics or liquor. I suggest that you give food to the homeless, and it's funny because I talk about in my book the movie Scary Movie, where the main character, like the homeless guy was like, do you have $1? And the main character was like, no, I don't have $1, and get away from me, bum. And then the other character was like, can't you see that he just wants some food? And she gave him a sandwich, and he was like, hey, I said $1, B. And then through the sandwich back to her. It's funny because some homeless people are like that for real. You know, they don't want the money. No, they want the money. They don't want the food. So I suggest you give them food, because a real homeless dude would appreciate that. He'll eat the mess out of that food and drink the mess out of that water or Kool-Aid drink or Gatorade or whatever you got. So I always suggest that you just give them food, man, or you give them clothing. Now they could sell it for money. The problem is it's going to be very complex for them to sell food. Okay, who they gonna sell it to? Other homeless people? They gonna sell it to regular people going and coming from work? You know, those people are not gonna buy from a homeless guy. So it's gonna be very, very hard for that homeless dude to sell that food. Believe me. Unless the other person he's selling it to is extremely hungry and whatever. So it's best to just give them food, or to give them clothes, to give them like items. You know what I'm saying? Items. Don't give them no big buck items like a laptop computer or something like that. They'll sell it in, yeah. So it's very important. It's very important. Yeah, so I mean, there's so many concepts I can cover about homelessness, man. Let me think for a minute. Give me 1 second. What else could I talk about as far as homelessness go? Yeah, when I was homeless, man, I would just ride the bus and the train back and forth. I didn't want to sleep on the streets because, that hard concrete, unless you got like an air mattress or something like that. Some people will actually set up tents inside national parks or next to highways where they go and beg and sleep in those tents because they like the idea of having shelter around them and their own privacy. Some people, but in Las Vegas there is a Salvation Army place where they was offering beds for only $10 a night, and they would actually increase the price because people was coming to Las Vegas during the weekend to stay and have fun in Vegas. So they would increase the price and they would stay at the shelter. And one thing about those homeless shelter, if you have, if you can't stand people snoring, it's going to be very hard dealing with all those different snores and smells and things of this nature. They normally give you a locker and you can lock your stuff up, And from what I understand, well, it's not a hostel. Hostels, they respect your stuff. A shelter, they might steal your stuff if they know you got valuables on you. So it's very, very essential. And the Salvation Army in Las Vegas, man, it looked like a project building. It's very dusty. I don't know how it is now, but they had free showers there. You had to come around a certain time. They had 4 different showers next to each other, and only 4 guys can go in there and do their thing. It was a molded wall in front of there. The Catholic Charities showers was all good, but they never had like hot showers. Always had cold showers, so it was very, very annoying. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy being homeless. Now, the positive things about being homeless is that, like I said before, you get a clear mind. And for the most part, depending on how you look and how you project yourself, people may not mess with you on the streets for the most part. So you can kind of get in tune with yourself because you're outside all day. So you're always breathing in fresh air and things like this. For the most part, you start to learn about society and start to understand people better. If you're in a cocoon lifestyle, you will develop street smarts quickly because you, after becoming a victim of crimes and people playing games and the police playing their little games with homeless people, because homeless people are easy targets. That's an easy quota you can reach. Hey, you're not supposed to be in this area. I'm going to arrest you, process you. You're going to get an I bond. You're going to get let go. But, just come with us, Next thing you know, you have a record and things of this nature. So it's very hard. You can easily become a victim when you're homeless. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's crazy, man. But as far as like homelessness, I say don't do it unless you come from an unforgiving life. If you come from an unforgiving life where you have family who are like into gang stuff, or you have a bunch of drug addicts in your family, and no matter how hard you try, you can't come up, then you might have to just do what you have to do. Go out there for a moment and do everything in your power to come up. It's very important. It's very important. So I guess that's it. There's really nothing else to cover. It's a 20-minute video. So homelessness, let me just recap. That way something new might come to mind. Homelessness is unforgiving in the streets. It can be dangerous in the streets until you learn street smarts and learn what to do, what not to do, places to go, where not to go. It's very important. Also, those young dudes out there will jump you because you're homeless, because you are an easy target to them because you're always outside. You might look weak, you might look dirty. They know you have no connections, no political connections. That's why the police target you also. Bam, they hit you. The society of homelessness is different in a bustling city like Chicago compared to a tourist city like Las Vegas. And that's all I have to say, man. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. So, check out my book below in the description box. It's called Homelessness in Las Vegas. I might cover the mentality and the concept of Vegas in the next video, so stay tuned. Thank you. After you purchase the book, purchase the ebook for now. Don't purchase the paperback yet, because the paperback version, I don't have a page numbers on the book, and I got to change the cover and the font on the back. After I do that, paperback version will be ready to go. Alright, so see you.